G'day, beard brethren, Sheilas, fuckheads, and just all round legends. Welcome to your family friendly Two Beards of Podcast and Wrexham AFC, the Aussie podcast brought to you by your boy Rousey, and that is Adrian. We have got a very special episode today, don't we?
Mate, I don't know about family friendly. I think that should be a disclaimer on the middle of the screen right now, just saying warning can get fucked real quick. Like it's just
Can
gonna
go
be
to some
interesting.
very dark places. If you've stumbled across us right now, you've probably gone to a very dark corner of YouTube.
Are we on the dark web? Is that what you're saying? Are we like advertised on the dark web?
We should totally. I'm sure.
I
Give us
say
your
that
credit card number.
uneducated. Yeah, I say that as an uneducated person on I don't know what the dark web really has. So
Yes.
we could talk about that off air.
So, Adrian, got some news for you, mate.
Yeah, go for it.
We well, you probably already know. Fuck it. We're not going to beat around the bush. We made a fucking 1,000 subscribers. What the fuck?
Yes, 1,000
Have a lot of
subscribers, mate.
people that like listening to us just waffle on about shit for an hour every week.
Honestly, it's probably like 1,000 people listening to the word dick being used every 2 minutes at least on average. And I'm pretty proud of that. That's a pretty big following of people who love to see us get a bit weird. And I kind of love it. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. Rousey appreciates it. But yeah, fuck, we're just Australians, guys. We're not in Wrexham, and you still support us. And we love Wrexham till we die. And I think we'll be doing this for a very, very long time to come, as long as you guys keep showing up as you do.
Exactly. So, 1,000 subscribers. Look, I know from myself and from Adrian, we are extremely grateful that you guys would jump on board and join us and enjoy listening to us week in, week out. And it really does mean the world. And we're only going to keep going and hopefully keep growing. Um, some things in life they stop growing, but I'm going to keep growing. Um, but but that said, we got
Yes,
some housekeeping before we get to our special guest for
as we
this
normally
episode.
do.
So, guys, if you like this episode, be sure to subscribe and like and share the shit out of this. Comment down below as well. We had no comments on the last video, so get in touch with us. We will respond to you. We like interacting with our fans. But if you want to be a fuckhead, which is our patron only program, gives you access to fans only Discord, discounted merch, giveaways, and shout outs on the pod, and a whole lot more. $5 a month that'll cost you, twobeardsmedia.com. Link will be in the description down below if you want to join that. And we got our shout outs for the week. Adrian, do you want to get
Yeah, mate.
through this?
Oh, I'll run them off. But before I do, I'm going to throw Rousey on the quick one under the bus. That what I want us to get back to the. Remember when we had the question time where people just throw us random questions they just wanted to know? I want them to put it in the comments section below, considering we got 1,000 people now. Last time we did this, we had like 100. So I want to see as many questions as possible. Could be anything weird, wonderful, whatever. And obviously we will read, within reason, guys. But we will read them out and answer them as we can for the next episode. But for now, I want to thank John, Sarah, Will, Chris, Aaron, Jake, Ryan, Rousey, and I'm a part of it too, guys. If
And
you didn't
John.
know, but I said John at the start. John
Oh,
was my
did you?
first one.
Oh,
Yeah,
uh,
I won't forget any of you. But honestly, thank you so much for being our fuckheads. For those who don't know, that's our patron program, where people can pay $5 a month, and they get to be a part of a private Discord where we talk during the games, after the games, during the week, whenever Rousey has a weird and wonderful Instagram video he wants to share. So
like a
it's been
koala
fun.
scratching his nuts.
There you go. Love it,
Oh,
love
so
it.
good,
But no, it's
so
good, man.
good.
It's good.
Mate, honestly, as well, Adrian, this is a hell of a journey we're on, and it's only going to get
Crazy.
bigger and better from here. And um, we've got something here. We're just going to keep going.
That's
But
it.
we have an episode today, obviously for our 1,000 subscriber episode. Got a very special guest.
Very
who's
special.
also a very prominent part of the Wrexham fan community, a podcast guest as well. He got his own podcast.
You might have heard of it.
Might have heard of it. Fearless and Devotion. Holy shit, that's right. Two beards, Fearless and Devotion. We love each other. We give each other we give each other slaps on the butt every so often. But we got one of them here today on the pod. None other than Tim Edwards. Bring it on.
Yeah, dude, this is massive because when again we talk about how we started our Wrexham journey and listening to podcasts and things like Mark Griffiths and Bill Long and Tommy Kraus, and now we're listening, and we had been listening from the start. Fearless and Devotion was probably, I want to say, one of, if not the first podcast I would have listened to around Wrexham, mainly because I think they were the only ones who were responding to my tweets. So I was very much like, oh, thanks guys, I appreciate it. And then I got to find out about them and then fell in love with their podcast and the people that run it. And especially Tim speaks out really well about the club. He's a great face of it. And honestly, also speaks well about mental health and other issues as well. So I really, really appreciate him coming on. And oh, fuck, I don't even want to spoil anything, but I'm just excited.
All right. Well, let's just do it. Let's get Tim on. Let's have a chinwag, have some good times, and enjoy this 1,000 subscriber episode with Fearless and Devotion. Let's fucking go.
Wow.
Wow. Right. Oh, we have one of the members of Fearless in Devotion, Tim, mate. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's an honor to have you on our podcast. It's good. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. I'm half dressed in my anniversary Wrexham shirt, and I've got my nice kind of festive pajama bottoms on because it's 8:30 over here on a Sunday. I got work in an hour and a half, so why not? Why not?
Why not? The fuck works on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Shift work. I'm with you. It's the worst.
Proper workers that have to factor in 3 o'clock Saturday kickoffs, but I should button my lip about kickoffs.
Oh yeah. After the Blackburn announcement, it's funny it was one of those things which, yeah, it was obviously a big backlash from majority of fans, but there was obviously the shift workers, not only just yourself, but others also was like, hey, look, no disrespect, but I've been dealing with it for every year, and now I get one that actually works for me. So, look, as long as it doesn't become a thing for everyone, of course, I understand they want numbers, but what is your, I guess, thoughts on it happening, for this specific fixture?
Right. I'm glad you've asked me that because you'll take the sting out of me recording about it later on for FID. So, I don't know. I think there was a lot of fume, which didn't really warrant it. I can understand the gripes, of course, because people have to. I'm gonna have to move a shift or book a day off now. I wouldn't have had to have done if it was on a Saturday. And some people said, "Oh, but it's traditional for it to be Saturday." Yeah, but broadcasters don't care for tradition these days. They care for money, and they care for how they make that money is getting clubs that will attract, a decent viewership for that game. And it's no secret that outside the Premier League and the top half of the Championship, Wrexham are that team for that. So, I can tell you now 100% the club do not have a say in that. I bumped into Humphrey Carr yesterday when I was grabbing some food, and they said, look, it's out of our hands. Is this what the broadcasters dictate? And I think if you apply a bit of context to it all, I understand the annoyance about it. I genuinely do. But, I think we've taken a little bit of things for granted sometimes. I think, it wasn't long ago that Wrexham were never on the TV. And we were like, oh, we're never on the telly. We never pick us for the telly. And now because we've got a streaming documentary and we get picked for TV games, people are like, oh, we don't need to be on the telly. Just keep it like this. Well, you can't have your cake and eat it. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
And let's be fair, Blackburn's an hour and 10 minutes away. I could probably finish work on on that Monday at maybe 5 and give or take a bit of traffic, still get there in good time for the game. 7:30 kickoff's more unusual than a 7:45, so it's a little bit earlier than normal. If you can't go, guess what? It's on the telly. Watch it.
Pull a sickie. Just that's what I would do. Pull a sickie. Just
no, I do get people saying, oh yeah, but I've got to do this. I've got to get childcare. I've got to do this. I know all that, but I've taken a sort of pragmatic approach to it. And if you apply context to anything, you usually come out with a decent outcome. And the context is whether you want to go to something, whether it's a birthday, whether it's a christening, whether it's somebody's retirement due, whether it's your little kid's first rugby game. If you want to be there for that occasion, you will make reasonable adjustments to get there. And this is no different. I understand it's annoyance because we're not immune to it. It's as simple as that. But the big difference is that we're not accustomed to it. People aren't accustomed to us playing on a Monday night. I understand it. But, of course, we're going to take a big following. And I think we'll win. Yeah. I think we'll win.
I think we're all on agreement there.
Yeah, I've got a good feeling about this game. To our Australian listeners, if you're in Perth, that game will be on at 3:30 in the morning on a Tuesday morning. I think for Adrian, that's what's that?
6 a.m. on the East Coast. So 6 a.m. kickoff is not so bad. You have your coffee and it's all good. Rousey, I went through that on the last FA Cup fixture, the Shrewsbury fixture, I think, and then we had the rotating one. So it seems like one side of the border in Australia gets screwed one way or another, and but we deal with it, right?
Yeah, we deal with it.
Yeah, we have a cup of cement and we shut the fuck up. Like that's just kind of how we roll. But no, look, but you actually brought up a very good point about like what we're accepting as the norm now, being a winning team, sitting second on the table, something that for a lot of newer fans such as us, is quite normal now, and it can be quite normalized. How do you think it's affecting the perception of, I guess, local Wrexham fans? Do you find that there's still a lot of people trying to keep it grounded? Do you think there's been a bit of a shift in expecting more, especially, let's just say, the Twitter comments that happened during the first half of the game this morning?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're being spoiled. And the minute you're spoiled, you want more of it. You kind of crave it. It's almost like some sort of caffeine hit or something. But we're living in like almost unprecedented times for the football club. Even the guys who a lot of people I know who's kind of lived through the kind of like the late 70s as being regarded as the golden years of the club, they now feel that this time has eclipsed that simply because of the excitement surrounding the club, the belief and the hope that they can go pretty far up the divisions now, and also the sustained enjoyment, and that's a key thing. Wrexham and sustained enjoyment never, ever went in the same sentence. I can tell you that much, right? Just didn't happen. Did not happen. You get the rare seasons, a couple of the promotion seasons were so few and far between, but overall, you just striving for something. You never know what was going to happen that season. You get excited. Looking back, we got excited by some really bad signings. And we're like, oh my God, he's going to be amazing. And it's like, nah, a blind Labrador could have played better football, honestly. Bad. So, yeah, I think I just couldn't believe yesterday. Like half-time, people were just like, it's not good enough, but get it forward. Like, yeah, I reckon, you know what? I mean, maybe I'm being stupid here, but I reckon the lads are trying to get it forward because the fucking aim of the game is to try and score a goal down that end. Get it forward. You don't say. So I'm like, honestly, look, I've said some stupid shit in my time from the terraces, daft stuff, thinking, fucking hell, why have I just said that? And what makes me laugh, we do it as a cathartic experience. We shout shit. Make us feel better, to make people around us go, oh, I might have a point. Oh, he's talking bollocks. The fucking player 35 yards away ain't going to be listening what me amongst 12,500 people are saying. Let's get a bit of a realism about that. So
100%.
I just find it so odd that there is some sort of distinct lack of patience, and that purely becomes from the fact that people are expecting us to steamroll teams.
Mm.
We've gone from last year steamrolling teams for the large part to this year grinding teams down, breaking their will, and basically saying, well, you had your chance, you fucking missed it, so we're going to punish you now. Yeah, we did it against Shrewsbury, we did it against Barrow, we did it yesterday. It's just a reoccurring theme that if you don't come here and take the very few chances you're going to get, you're going to leave empty-handed. And I think sometimes it's almost like, people just need to go, fucking hell, enjoy it for what it is. If we don't score in the first minute, or we score in the 89th minute, great, a win's a win. The first maybe half season or first 20 odd home games at the Parky, they're all very like 1-0s or 2-1s, just like attritional, a team that was in progress but wasn't quite there yet. So yeah, I think people just need to go, fucking hell, these are like special moments. Do not hammer the players because they didn't play 4 forward balls in one motion when, in this, it still makes me nervous that Wrexham play it from the back because that's a new thing in my head.
Yes.
It's like we always used to just, you whack it from the goalkeeper. But now I'm like, oh shit, we've got ball players across the park that feel comfortable with the ball straight from Arthur, straight to feet. And I shouldn't be worried about that. And I should have more trust in them. But that's the Wrexham fan of old in me that says, "Oh, just get it long, get it forward. That's where the goal is, forward." So
I think.
But honestly, I think there's a distinct lack of patience from some fans. But you're always going to get that wherever you are at whatever club. It's not everybody. It's just some, and that's their prerogative as a paying customer.
Yeah. I think you do have very much a point though, like with that whole grind down mentality and that we've seen this season come from Wrexham. A lot of the games have felt like they've been slower starting, and then obviously that second half comes around and boom, we start punishing the teams because we've just grinded them down. Even if they're quick teams, they're not going to be quick for the full 90 minutes. More than not, in the second half, they're going to start falling apart, and that's when we start. Our fitness comes through, and our style and ruthlessness comes through, and it takes off. I say to those people that say that, watch a championship game, watch what happens in a championship game. A lot of the time, those games are fucking boring. So you get some nail biters, but I mean, I've seen plenty of championship games in my life where it's just like, gosh, like this style of play is just boring. They're just trying to, just shoot the fucking thing in the back of the net. And it doesn't happen because they're still trying to find a way through the box and all that. And that's sort of, the Wrexham style is much, much more exciting than that, but it's still very much like, fucking watch what actually happens in other games and other leagues and how they play. You're going to get your 1-0 victories. You're going to get your 0-0 draws, all that sort of stuff, because it is literally, you got two teams of high quality players going at each other. Neither of them are going to want to give an inch, and it's just who can have that quality finish at the end of the day. Yeah, and a lot of the time it's not that exciting. I guess it's different if you're a fan of that team, but I mean, I know I used to follow Coventry, and I say they're my number 2 team. I watched them play just recently, and I was fucking bored out of my mind, even though they won 3-1. So, it just goes to show that, there's different styles of play, and it's just at the end of the day, this is the football league. There's a lot more even keel about the teams. And if you make a mistake in this league, you're more than likely to not get punished. And it just so happens that Wrexham have that finer form, and that we very rarely make those mistakes. So that's the way I see it anyway. What do you think about that one, Tim?
Yeah, no, it's true. And I'm one of these people that I won't outwardly go and watch vast amounts of football by other teams just because I've never really had the means to do it. I'm not really a pub goer, so I don't go there and go, I'm going to see, what's on? Oh, it's, I don't know, Cambridge versus fucking Leyton Orient. And I don't want to watch that. I've got no interest in that. I'm not bothered. I'm not a football aficionado in the sense that I will go and watch every game I possibly can. I just think, we're here for a short time. and I want to enjoy my life. I don't want to sit in front of a box endlessly and watch football. No offense to anybody who likes that, that's fine. So I don't watch a lot of football. If it's on the telly, great. Like, you know, I had a vested interest in Real Madrid and Spurs because of Gareth Bale at the time, because why would you not want to watch Gareth Bale? Especially being so lucky to see him play for Wales at close quarters. So, but I think you're right. I mean, I watched some highlights last night actually, over here, just of opponents coming up. So I thought I'd watch West Brom versus Blackburn, and some of the goals Blackburn conceded, I'm like, fucking hell, we might really have the first goal was from a long throw, and I think Toes would be licking his lips looking at this. So, you know, I watched that, and I'm in a group with a couple of Cardiff and Swansea fans, so I thought, I'm going to watch them get dicked by Leeds. And I thought, fucking hell, as good as Leeds are, and they're likely to go back up this year, I honestly think right now Wrexham would give Cardiff a game. Wrexham probably at the moment would give a lot of teams a game. Do you know what I mean? Even Premier League, you'll end up coming up against big hitters. You know, Wrexham, Man City, we know almost certainly, you know, unless you're an absolute fucking ignoramus who's been living under a rock for the last 10 years, you know Man City are going to win that handsomely, regardless of how good we think we are. They're on a different level. But yeah, I watched like Leeds Cardiff. I was like, fucking hell, Cardiff are so bad. And then Blackburn, I thought, oh, they're so bad. But then there's context to it. When we come and play Blackburn, they'll show their quality undoubtedly because of what, you know, they've been doing pretty well. Well, been struggling a bit recently in the Championship, but yeah, I just think we're fortunate to have a team that can just grind it out when it matters, can turn on the style when it matters. And like yesterday, there was moments of frustration, but I can't remember, somebody said, oh yeah, despite it being an off day, I'm like, was it really an off day? It was an off half, but was it an off day? I genuinely can't remember the last time Wrexham played badly over 90 minutes. Maybe probably Walsall away, because we never really got going.
Well, it's because we're everyone's cup final. Like, we've seen teams down the bottom of the league that we should be absolutely pantsing, and they show up and they just put in a hell of a performance against us because they want to beat us. They want that notoriety of, we took down Wrexham and all that sort of stuff, and
shove that in your documentary shit.
We're everyone's cup final, and every game we have to play, we're playing it like, because these people are coming up against us and treating us like we're the biggest scalp there is. And no matter which team we're going to come up against, they all play the same way against us. Their levels just seem to go up, and it's absolutely bonkers to me that you can have a team down the bottom of the ladder and come to the race course, and we go to their home and put on a performance that makes us look average, but it's not. It's the fact that they've completely stepped up the level to try and, because they know if they don't do that, they're going to get absolutely fucked. I
think that message has probably been drilled home to the players by Parky, not in an arrogant way, but in a way said, look, you know, we're on a pedestal and people want to fucking knock us off and drag us back down a peg or two and say, oh, well, you know, you're not really all that. You're just a money club, blah, blah, blah. But James McLean yesterday said, look, you know, to win leagues and to win games, you have to have a special team bond throughout the entire squad. And it's pretty obvious we've got that. It's pretty obvious. And when you've got that, in addition to them being quality players, then, you know, it's only really heading one way. And I get why people want to come and go, fucking hell, I'd love to go there and beat them. I'd love it. Because I remember, like, 2018 when we played Salford, and Salford were like, I'm not comparing us to Salford, by the way, very different in terms of history, but in terms of a club being in everybody's crosshairs, that's the similarity. And when Salford came, you know, the 8,000 turned up at the time, and we all wanted to beat them, and we stuffed them 5-1. It was brilliant. That was a peak time, you know, for that couple of years, because you wanted to stick it up the club owned by, you know, the class of '92 Man United lot, and it was great. You know, so that is now us for everybody else for the large part, give or take, and even even for Stockport, Notts County, and the supposed bigger sides in that division, people want to beat us. A, because it's nice to beat somebody nearby and they've been a decent rival, but B, it just says, the same people who stick that in your fucking documentary, are the same people in the crowd with the fucking cardboard sign saying, "Ryan, can you come and sign my shirt?" Fuck off.
It's like I don't know if you saw during the season, but that Bradford fan that had like was it Park is was it genius, or like he's just basically comparing him to fucking Mourinho, or the special one, like, and I was just like, oh, that's fucking sad. Like, it was just like one of those moments where I was like, oh fuck, like we are big, but I just assumed it was just big, overseas, America, Australia, because of the doco. And I thought everyone else would not want to go. Like, why would you want to go to see someone you hate? Like, that's just my mentality. Like, there's some rivals in teams locally that I'm just like, I don't want to go see that, because if we lose, the winning won't feel as good as the losing will hurt. So it's like, why would you want to go see that? Whereas these guys are flocking in their numbers, like selling out their stadiums for the first time in 20 years, like shit like that. Like Barrow did it. I'm trying to think. I can't remember a team. Newport just recently sold out their one. Shrewsbury, they only had 5,000 last night or yesterday, but against us they had a lot more. So it's just it's just indicative of what we're doing. But what I'd love to know about I guess you are one of what we call one of the OGs, one of the people one of the originals of going through, I guess, the harder times. So I guess explain to us who maybe don't know, what was that like? And I guess not how did you stick it out? You love your club, but what were those days like? And, how to just kind of start going to the race course and feeling that?
Mate, honestly, when you said that, then I'm not lying. My heart sank a bit, and I just honestly, I was just like, oh, fuck, and it's A, because you care, but B, because it's important not to ever lose sight of the rough times, because they will come back. They will come back. Maybe not in the same nature, that's surrounded by people trying to ruin your club, or the threat of its existence, or even the thought of going down to the Conference North during that COVID hit season. So it's those what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and all that sort of stuff, and it does. But you kind of, I fell in love with the club when I realised that we had one. When I'm a young kid, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I fucking bought a Liverpool shirt, got a Man United shirt, and all this sort of shit. And I was like, hang on. In the paper here, it says, I don't know, Wrexham 0, Leighton Orient 6. Why are Wrexham so shit? And how come I've never been to a game? So my mum took me to a Wrexham game, bizarrely, first and foremost, and we played. I kind of want to say it was Maidstone United is the one I remember, before they kind of fell apart and reformed. And I think it was 0-0. There's a referee called Gurnham Singh, so one of the sort of rare Indian referees at the time. He was dog shit. He was awful, this referee. He was notoriously bad. Yeah, everybody remembers Gurnham Singh. He was just terrible. But, referees, to be fair, it's a sadistic kind of side hobby you want to do. That's fine. However you get your kinks, referees, however you get your kinks. But yeah, he was bad, and but even then I was like, God, this match is so shit, but I don't care, because everything about it was like, this is amazing. This like big, cavernous, largely empty stadium with like 2,500 people in it, all like a baying mob. I was like, this is so good, because you kind of, rightly or wrongly, you can go through a sort of maelstrom of emotions at a football ground that you can't do anywhere else. Honestly, you just can't do it. Some people take it too far. Granted, I've been guilty of doing that in the past, where you kind of, your emotions can get the better of you, and you can say some shit that just sounds idiotic at the time. But I kind of I work on the basis now, because I'm old and fucking mature, like a hard cheese, that you wouldn't necessarily say at a football ground what you wouldn't say to somebody in the pub or whatever, within reason. That's kind of what dials me back a bit now. And if somebody is like an absolute prick, like Joe fucking Lewis yesterday with his stupid Kylie Minogue hot pants on. And if I was a big fan, I would have given him shit just for being an absolute fucking, I don't know, tart for purposely wearing ridiculously. Like, don't be an Instagram footballer. Get on with your fucking job. If you got on with your job, you wouldn't have consented.
We have a special nightclub here called Connections or Court. Both of them they're like for drag queens and stuff. Really entertaining if you ever get to go to it. But I reckon he would have fit right in those clubs.
The short shorts.
Oh, those short shorts and the hot pants. I tell you what, whew, it didn't leave much to the imagination. That's for sure.
Look like a kind of like Aussie rules footballer. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Put a couple of little splits in his shorts.
Yeah,
before the shorts.
He looked like a classic Geelong player.
Hey, mate, Geelong players won flags, mate. I don't know about your club, but my team's actually won premierships. So. But no, look, it's one of those things that, like, yeah, it's funny, like, that you mentioned that, because that's something that our previous guests have mentioned. You know, when they think about Australia, you know, we talk about Aussie rules because Rousey goes for Fremantle, I go for Geelong. We didn't win a premiership for 44 years, and now I've been lucky, kind of similar rise to Wrexham in the sense that we've won four premierships, 4 titles in my lifetime, which my dad saw none for 44 years. And, you know, before we'd won the first one. So that's kind of where I relate to it. And I feel like Rousey relates to Wrexham in that similar way because, I mean, Freo, they haven't won a premiership. And that's not your fault, mate. Your inception started in 97? Or 96. But anyways, the point is that it's amazing that you talk about that. How much do you know about, I guess, the Australian game? We won't go too much into detail, but like, do you see it on the TV and just go, what are these knobs doing? Like, what's the go?
Not a vast amount, to be honest, purely because it kind of tallies what I was saying before. Like, I won't vastly go out my way to watch any sport of any nature unless I've got like a slightly vested interest on it, or it just happens to be on, you know.
Yeah.
So I'll see. If it's on, I've caught. It's the same a little bit when I've seen, like, when I've been like in Dublin and caught some fucking hurling on the TV. I'm like, oh, it just looks fucking insane. But the crowds they get for hurling is like massive. I think Tom O'Connor's got like 2 brothers who are like big into it over there, and they're doing pretty decent. So yeah, not a vast amount of Aussie rules, but you know, from what I recall and from what I can remember is that, you know, anything with a little bit of brutality is always good in sport for the large part. You know, if it's justified, chin Sunday. So yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
it's the shorts, isn't it?
Yeah, that shit you're wearing, Adrian, reminds me of a couple of fucking players. We were talking about this yesterday about that. Some of those protagonists from that team would definitely be in the Wrexham angriest 11. Not necessarily the hardest, but definitely the angriest. Like Stevie Evans, Ryan Valentine, fucking hell. Like, I mean, okay players. I can probably say that now. But in terms that fucking hell, they're just like the red mist would descend, like big time. Like Ryan Valentine was a stamper. He used to stamp on players. Like, didn't give a shit. Would stamp. Stevie Evans would. Stevie Evans was a big fucker. You don't mess with him. He would just slap you about. And yeah, we had some angry players on that side. It's a shame they didn't show enough fight to stop us from being relegated. But I don't want to throw too much shade.
James McLean falls into that basket.
Yeah,
because he loves stirring some shit up.
Yeah,
I think there's a difference, right?
Yeah, he's clever though, isn't he? Because he knows that he knows where the line is. And he's like, you know what? I'll push it and I'll push it until I'm at that line, but I won't go over it unless I'm really unfortunate. I'll make sure that the person in my crosshairs gets so fucking wound up that they go over it, but I stay under it. And it's like, oh, well, I've just won that battle because I've got you sent off. And the fact that we've got him as a kind of chief wind-up merchant to piss off everybody, it kind of like, in a weird way, I think it helps the team because it kind of almost takes the focus of, I want to hate this team when I go there. Like Newport next week is a prime example of that, and it worked at Shrewsbury. Kind of took the sting out of a lot of the fans slagging off all of our players because it was all like, fuck, I hate McLean because I hate his beliefs. I hate him. I just hate him because he's a little rat. He's a bastard. But yesterday he was great, and he wound up the Wimbledon fans. I didn't see it, but I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't realize he'd done that as well. But it's just him, and he loves it. And like when he's had so much shit over the years from so many fan bases, I think he's entitled to sort of cup his ear or say, yeah, is that all you got for me? And he's heard everything under the sun. He's death threats. He's had the worst kind of abuse. So why not reach a point in your career where you're having a nice little payday, helping us try and do the very best out of our league? But when he signed, I was like, ooh, I was a little bit concerned, largely because like he scored against Wales years ago, the motherfucker, and I was fuming with him. Like I remember it well. I was like, I fucking hate James McLean, and when he signed, you immediately go, I'd rather him with us than against us in the club capacity. Yeah. So, and I just thought, yeah, but even when we signed him, I was like, which game is he going to send? Is he going to get sent off? But he's clever because his temperament is right in that sense. His game temperament is right, but he knows how to mix it up. And that's the beauty of having a player like him and Steve Fletcher who know the dark arts because they've been there and done it. And if you've got the dark arts and you can get away, that can prove the difference between winning and losing.
His synergy, with Fletcher in set plays is just something else. Like
it's incredible.
Second time in 2 games I've seen him pop a set play, a corner, and pop it right behind, and you see Fletcher literally just hiding behind another Wrexham player. Normally it's Tom O'Connor.
How are they not fucking manning Fletcher, by the way? Sorry, that was just an outrageous thought, but just how are they not, they've seen him do it time and time again, and he gets to the back post, and that video, I think you shared a video, Tim, today of someone calling it. Steve-O's going to get here. Yeah. Steve-O's going to get here.
I said to my dad that I'm fucking telling you, I'm calling it now, which I didn't record that part. I realized when I played the video. I said, I'm telling you, Big Steve with the back post is happening. And then I was watching it, and I don't look at the game like a lot of people do, where they fucking analyze patterns and tactics and all that shit. I like the game like I used to like it when I was 12 years old. It's just simple, 11 versus fucking 11. May the best team win. And I was watching Fletcher, and I was like, you're gonna need fucking 2 men, and if you're gonna mark him, you best put your biggest and strongest man on him, because if you don't, you're either pulling him down, we're getting a penalty, or he's stealing him for a chance, and it was the latter. So, yeah, I just remember, I just got a feeling Fletcher's having this. And next minute, he peels himself away. He's in Acres' room. But you know what? The finish is so good. Didn't have to do a lot, but you just have to guide it. I mean, the whip on the ball, Fletcher just stick his boot on it, and it's in the back of the net before the keeper's even blinked. And yeah, I mean, have you seen his skill for the second one in the build up to that goal? He takes the ball, does a bit of a spin. Yeah, but then it's not just that. It's the ball out wide when he's getting challenged, hauled to the ground, and he flicks out wide with the outsole of his boot. I'm like, what is that about? I mean, I'm not comparing him to. Yeah, I'm not comparing him to Kevin De Bruyne, by the way, right now, because I saw the Man City Newcastle highlights yesterday, and there's one of Kevin De Bruyne's goal. He literally passes it into the net from 25 yards. It's fucking insane. I can't remember ever seeing anybody pass the ball into the net from that distance. And it was a similar thing with Fletcher yesterday. He's like, how the fuck has he managed to pass it from there to there whilst being dragged to the deck after pirouetting his way past 2 players? It's just special player for what we need at this moment in time. And
free.
Yeah. Do you reckon McLean and Fletcher go another year with us?
We had this discussion last week. I don't know. I said probably not. But it's weird because both of them had such strong games yesterday, particularly McLean. I thought he looked even a yard quicker, dare I say it. I just thought he looked good overall. His delivery was great. Sometimes he takes a little bit too much time on the ball, but it doesn't matter because 9 times out of 10 he's going to whip it in anyway. So yeah, I don't know. I think it'll depend on the outgoings and what the average age of the squad is at the time. Do you then, because you want a strong spine, which we've got. Do you want, again, what I've just said about having that nous and that dark arts to sort of, because don't get me wrong, if we go up, it's going to be tougher again, and you want that extra experience to go, look, we've been in this fucking division. This is what you want to expect. So you kind of want those characters around the dressing room. And I would not be at all surprised if they had another year. You know what? I don't think anybody. You wouldn't hear any complaints. Not really. It's kind of like a win-win situation for Wrexham. If they help us get promoted, and it's like, thanks lads, take care, we appreciate it, but we're going to look to bring in some other players, maybe a little bit younger. Fine. Parky 9 times out of 10 knows what he's doing. So we kind of trust in the process. But if they stay, then the experience is massive. And I kind of almost feel like they probably, especially Fletcher, he might go down the Foster route if he realises that his leg's no longer in it or his heart's no longer in it. He'll go, I'm knocking it on the head, lads. I'll help in a coaching capacity for now or something. I just think he knows in himself I think he's starting to really enjoy his football. I think he's kind of surprised himself that he's managed to get back to a decent level of fitness now, and he doesn't have to do a lot to do what he does to be effective, if that makes sense. Yeah. It's like,
just needs a good 20 minutes. That's it.
Yeah, but I mean, we talk about we talk about Steve Fletcher as a striker, obviously, but a couple of occasions yesterday where they were whipping in the corners. The first person to head it clear, and I mean fucking clear, was Steve Fletcher. Like I've not seen anybody plant their noggin on that for a defensive header in a long time. When he was nutting it, he was heading towards the halfway line. I was like, that's how you do a defensive header. It was amazing. So you look at things like that and you're thinking, fuck, that's a striker helping out his defense, and that tallies what we just said about the kind of team bond that these guys have got.
Yeah. Well, let's hope. But we want to switch things up. Fearless and devotion. So I've been listening to you guys for quite some time.
Same here, yeah.
A long time now. Probably since I started following Wrexham, I've been listening to you guys, and you're full of a wealth of information. And I just want to know, how did that start for you? Because you got Fearless and Devotion, and then you've also branched out into the Fanzines. So shout out Fearless and Devotion Fanzines. Get yours.
Other Fanzines, yeah.
Yeah. How did that start for you? Give us some insight into that.
I was kind of I used to do some journalism stuff for club, because I was a journalist. I did sort of news journalism, then I became a sports journalist, blah blah blah. So I covered like Saracens and the rugby union over here, and Watford and the football when I moved down south for a little while, and then came back home because I hated living in and around London, because it's just not my fucking bag, man. It's a lot of rude people in like a 5-mile radius. So yeah, it kind of wasn't for me. So I came back home, and I was like, right, yeah, do this, do that, get myself sorted out. And I thought, right, well, I'm back here. Maybe I can utilize my sort of journalistic pedigree to help the club out. And I think at the time, it was like a skeletal kind of staffing at the club. You'd have like Geraint Parry, secretary, and club stalwart doing fucking everything. Like literally, like, the man's like an octopus. If he's not like doing the player registration, he's helping out the ticket office. If he's not doing that, he's doing the social media. If he's not doing, it's just like how he's still got a full head of hair, I'll never know, because he's done everything, Geraint. So any person that deserves a statue is definitely him. And I just said, do you need a hand? And he goes, if you want to come in and help out with what was then was just like the club match report and maybe a bit of Twitter. Instagram was less, to a lesser extent. And TikTok didn't exist then. So I was like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. So I came in, did a little bit of stuff for the club. I'll tell you a good story. Remind me about that, the Fleetwood story in a second. And Yeah, I did that for maybe 3 years. I thought, great, I'm getting, I'm doing it voluntary. Yeah, I don't have to pay to get in, but I get to sit in the press box and write stuff about Wrexham. Great, brilliant, labour of love. And then just like one summer came in, and I think the guy at the time, it was Cal Hogan, who was he was doing some sort of, I think he was like one of the media guys at the time. I think voluntary maybe, or I don't know. But I said, "Oh, do you want me back this season?" They said, "Oh, we're going to get some students to come in and help us out." I was like, "Okay, it's fine." So did my nose feel slightly put out of joint? Maybe a little bit. I think it's just the way it was handled. I wasn't really told until very late on. Oh yeah, we're doing this, we're doing that. Okay, fine. So I thought about what I wanted to do next, and then I sat there it was Boxing Day 2014. I was like, "Fuck it, I'm going to create like a fan voice for the football club, because I don't have to toe the party line now. I don't have to toe the official Wrexham match report line. I can write wherever the fuck I like, how I like it, and tell it how it is. Like trying to dress up a 7-2 home defeat to Gateshead was not fun. Let me tell you that.
No.
If I was writing it from a fan point of view as opposed to from the club's point of view, I would have wrote it very differently. So yeah, I just came up. I was like, what can I call it? Blah blah blah. And obviously the line from Wrexham's the name came to mind. I thought, yeah, it's kind of tallies with what being a Wrexham fan, or even to a diehard fan of any club, is all about, really. Because we have sat there through dreary Tuesday nights in the fucking cold rain in Dover or whatever, thinking, why are we doing this? What is this all about? And then you would go in more in sort of hope rather than expectation, and it was more about the trip with your mates, and the football was just like an added bonus, I suppose. So yeah, I just came up with that. I thought, all right, I can fucking write anything I want now within reason, and so it just kind of started from there. And I sort of gradually built that up just because I enjoyed it. It's like, right, we'll do some match tweeting, blah 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 blah, and then it just kind of got to the point where I knew Andy from sort of journalistic past. Didn't really know Reece, but that was more Andy's acquaintance. Same with Liam to a point, but bizarrely, Liam's dad taught me PE at school, so that was a bit of a weird thing. Because he kind of looks like his dad, so it's like, fucking hell, is he gonna fucking make me do two laps around the yard after we finish recording or what? It just kind of went from there. And then when the takeover happened, we kind of like said, is this a point where we need to do something? Because if we don't do it, there's going to be plenty of other people who do it, and that's not a bad thing because there's room for everybody. But maybe we can do it because we've got we've sort of earned the stripes of having the hard yards for the large proportion of it. So we decided to do the pod, and then that was enjoyable. And we said, maybe we should do like a fanzine, because there's never been a full colour glossy fanzine that's literally more of a magazine than actual anything else. So we've done several issues of that, and then we sort of last year we started putting the YouTube stuff rather than just relate to audio, because in my head, people just want to listen, they don't want to watch, but then everybody wants to fucking watch, don't they? So it's still weird to me that people go, guy yesterday's, I really enjoy it, and I watch it. Like, you fucking watch it, you don't listen to it. And like, it blows my mind that people want to watch four bozos chew the fat on in their front room. And some of my work colleagues like, oh yeah, my Andy was listening to you the other day, and I was having a bath, and all I could hear was you singing Okonkwo songs. I'm like, sorry, I ruined your bath. So,
those are class, by the way.
By the way,
sorry.
You've got I don't know if you saw. I did a little tweet a little while ago, but your little Okonkwo songs that you do, I want to hear you sing or make up words to "My Sacrifice" from Elton John.
Oh, fucking hell. Right. Okay, that's the challenge, is it?
That's it. That's it. He's writing it down now. He's like, oh, I've got this.
I'm having a look, as a sort of, by tradition, a wild metalhead, can't say I know Elton John's lyrics like to the umpteenth degree, to be honest. But Something that
That's
I can do. I can do.
I love that.
I can. I mean, Jesus. Yeah, I know which one it is. How's that gonna work? That's a challenge.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you on that
I
one.
love that. I love that because like that's something that we look forward to. Just like it's just so funny because it started off as just a bit of a laugh. Like was it in the car ride home from one of the games? And that original one is probably my favorite one still. It's so good.
I know, I love it. It's like even if it never ever takes off, it's more like a fun private joke. And I was like, "Fucking Axel F, come on!" I was like, works. It works.
For what it's worth. For what it's worth.
Somebody said, "Oh, Beverly Hills Cop. They're bringing back another film. They must have heard your Axel F." I was like, "Yeah, maybe."
For what it's worth, the American Pie chant that you guys came up with was gold. Was it? You know the one?
Which one was that? I can't remember.
It was to the tune of American. Who sings that song? Adrian, I need your help on this one.
You know about Don McLean? Is it Don
Yes.
McLean that sang American Pie? I've never heard that. I don't think I've heard that. But I've come up with.
I'm sure
it's probably been so many now.
It's just honestly, like a catalog.
It's bad. It's like an earworm. If I'm listening to the radio and a song comes on, I'm like, where the fuck can I fit a Okonkwo in this? I've got to do it. Like,
you know what? I think if he,
Arthur.
I think he legally can't leave Wrexham now because of this. By the way, like I'm pretty sure, like there's it just disappeared. There we go. So that literally, Okonkwo cannot leave Wrexham because it's like, well, look, man, we've made up all these songs. We can't just like change them. Like, come on, like it's law. So I think it's in his contract. So I'm excited for him to stick around.
Yeah, you know what? I've got a good feeling. I've got a good feeling about it. I think he will.
Bloody hope so.
I think he will.
Bloody hope so.
If he does, it's gonna have to be the Okonkwo medley. I'm gonna bust out.
If you don't release a CD. Yeah, if you don't release like a playlist that we can download on iTunes or physical CDs.
I've started one. It's already started, and I'm like, I've added bits to it. I'm like, what have I got in it? What have I got in it? Book of Okonkwo. There it is. Axel F, The Power by Snap, Vienna, Ultravox, Temptation, Heaven 17. How the fuck did I get into that? Don't Go, Yazoo. You Got It, Roy Orbison. What Is Love, Hadaway. That works really well, by the way.
It's love. I love that one.
Yeah. What Is Love? Arthur
Okonkwo. Yeah.
Bingo. Yeah, it just works. Karma Chameleon. I Think We're Alone Now. What did I have for that? I Think We're Alone Now. He's Arthur Okonkwo. Yeah, it'd be something like that. Yeah, it works.
Well, now you got a new challenge. If you can't come, I'll be listening to your podcast this week to see if you can able to come up with the words for my sacrifice of Elton John. And the only reason that came about is I was listening to your podcast, driving home from work, and after I turned off the podcast and put on the radio, that song was on, and it got me thinking. I'm like, oh. Yeah, I reckon you could do something with that. So I'll be.
I reckon I can. I'm in my head. I'm already kind of like I ain't gonna be able to replace the sacrifice bit because that does not go in any way, shape, or form. But I'm gonna have to fit him in that chorus somewhere. I've just seen like the front cover of that Elton John album. He's got blonde hair. That's wild. I didn't know Elton John had blonde hair.
Neither. I'm probably on that bandwagon where I know Rocket Man, and it's probably as far as my Elton John, not piano. What is it? Not Piano Man. That's fucking Billy Joel. But you see, that's my knowledge of Elton John. That it is just very minuscule. But
Rocket Man's an actual song, dude.
No, I said the next one. I was like Piano Man. I was like, wait, the fuck? Like that is definitely not Elton John. But like, so we're getting on the music topic, but now you just tickle my fancy where you said the metal side of things. What kind of music are you listening to?
Oh, I just listen to the most obscene, horriblest, noisiest, grindiest, disgustingness ever. Usually, 9 times, I'm just always have. It was always like Metallica first and foremost for me, and then you branch off into the many subgenres of metal. I never call it heavy metal because that moniker always annoyed me. It's like, it's fucking metal. It's heavy. You don't need to call it heavy metal.
Sepultura.
So just Sepultura, calling it a day now because they're fucked now. They should have called it a day when
a little bit a while ago.
Luckily I saw them on that last lineup, 1996. That was good. It's a good
wow.
tour. A lot of noise basically is what I'm listening to. But then, maybe I'm getting soft in my old age, but I don't know if you've heard Sleep Token. I'm all about them at the moment. Fucking unbelievable, man. It's like I ignored them for so long. I was like, no, turn it off. 10 seconds in, it's too soft, rubbish.
Not for me.
In the bin. No, it can go in the bin with fucking, I don't know, some. I just very rarely don't like it. Like fucking acoustic shit doesn't do anything for me. It's so dull for the large part. It's just like, mate, plug your fucking instrument in, do something. Like it doesn't do anything for me. Even that, who doesn't like Nirvana? But when Nirvana did like a live and unplugged for MTV, I'm like, it's shit. It's shit because it's not new. Yeah, you grunge band, plug your fucking instruments in. Stop trying to be something you're not. You know.
I'm with you there.
It's almost like when girl bands try and do acoustic covers of their songs. I remember back in the day listening to Spice Girls. They were that big. And yes, I did pay attention to Spice Girls because I had a crush on Ginger Spice.
That's why you hired me for this. That's why he's like recruited me for this podcast. You've got a ginger thing, don't you?
The ginger thing. There you go. It's the way forward. But I sort of looked at. I booked tickets to see Korn in the summer, and then in my Ticketmaster app, it's like, oh, your tickets are here, and then below that, it's like, oh, you're also going to watch Girls Aloud. So my current bookings are Girls Aloud and Korn. So
love it.
Love it. Yeah, like I'm not sure how many people are going to have that kind of ticket side by side. So. Works though. Girls Aloud. It's great, It's great. Saw them on every tour. Love that band.
Well,
love that.
Tim, I mean, I got to admit, I know you got to get to work and you're going to be.
Oh, it's fine. They can wait. It's fine. No. I'm awake now.
So obviously you must have had a big night last night celebrating the win. We'll finish this off. You mentioned just before about Fleetwood, so we kept us all in suspense. So
I want to hear this story. Yes.
You know what? Now I've said it, I've like put myself on the pedestal. It's like, for me it's quite funny, but it might be shit to everybody else. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You're obviously familiar with Jamie Vardy, the whole Leicester City story. Well, obviously he used to play for Fleetwood at the time during that 2012, 2013 season, whereas us and Fleetwood sort of vying for the title. And as my story goes, is little aside to the story. Before we were on our way up to play Fleetwood away, big game. Lee Fowler had not long left us to join them because they were the money club and we couldn't fucking hold on to our best players. On the way up, me and Dave Roberts, who's the chief exec of the club at the time, lovely guy, Dave. If I could track him down, I'd love to get him on the pod. So knowledgeable, nice guy. Me and him, and I think Mark Williams, who's kind of the treasurer of the WST, went to Adidas headquarters in Stockport. Bizarrely, Adidas have this headquarters, which also houses Rockport and Reebok and the headquarters in like a cul-de-sac in Stockport. It's so fucking weird. But anyway, this isn't the story. This is just a side story. Give you a bit of background to something that doesn't really matter. I just thought I'd tell you because, like, at the time, I was
Fucking love it.
I was doing a bit of press stuff for the club. I am a bit of a kit nerd. They said, "What do you reckon of this kit?" And it was like a shitty Nike one. It was the wrong color. I was like, "No." So try and get Adidas. And then they called in a favor. I think it was from the Forest Green chairman who had some sort of links to Adidas. So I was like, let's go to Adidas and try and get a shirt sorted for Wrexham next season. So it would have been the season before, actually. So it was 2011, 12 or 12, 13, I can't remember. So we went up and we struck a deal to get the Adidas kit, with the Glyndŵr University front.
Yes, I know the one.
Adidas.
I've lost many a bid on eBay for that one.
Yeah, so I mean, so my shit claim to fame on that front is I helped Wrexham get a sort of push on to get that Adidas shirt back, with that, which went down in history in the sense that we won the FA Trophy in 2013 in it, if not the league. So that's the shit story. Did that, onwards to Fleetwood we went. So I'm sitting in the press box with my laptop, typing away, and I can't remember. I think kind of somebody got sent off. I can't remember who it was off the top of my head. And it was like a really. No, it wasn't. That's a lie. I'm reading it. I'm reading it wrong. Jamie Vardy fucking went in. One of our players with a really, really rash challenge. Really rash challenge. Anyway, I think we drew that game. We lost ground in Fleetwood. It wasn't a great result. And we wanted to get the fuck out of there. It'd been a long day. So I was like writing up the match report in the back of the car as Garrett was driving home or whatever. And I'm just typing away, fucking hit send, publish. And in my head, I can't believe that Jamie Vardy tackle, dirty bastard. And I'd written in my head, wild Vardy lunge, like a lunge, like a wild.
Yeah, lunge tackle, yeah.
It was like, I can't remember the context of the sentence, like, blah, blah, was injured because of a wild Vardy lunge. And then I fucking various texts come through with the course of time. Wasn't it as immediate as it would be on Twitter, but like, was Vardy hungry? I was like, what are you on about? He goes, read your match report back. And in my infinite wisdom, I hadn't put lunge. I'd written, he was injured by a wild Vardy lunch. And I'm like, I made it sound like some sort of shit, sort of food pun in a Wrexham match report. I'm like, fucking hell. So at least it wasn't anything truly bad, but it looked stupid. I was like, what did he have for his? I'm just getting people saying, what did he have for his lunch? Fucking wild mushrooms. Like, piss off. I didn't realize I did that.
Just getting roasted. So, just like, fuck.
This is the thing, like, the likes of Mark Griffiths and the media team and all these other people, the large part, they do it for free, and sometimes they get fucking pelters for he's eating a pie in his commentary, blah blah. Yeah, all right, there's a line, but I think people need to go, fucking hell, all these people are doing it off their own backs.
Yep.
To be a sort of almost like an inner circle part of the club, which is great. But you do stuff off your own back, and sometimes you get pelters for it. You're thinking, what's the fucking point? I don't need to do this. You come do it then. See if you can do a better job. So, and I always do that with people kind of. Luckily, we don't really get much heat on the pod because we're not massively controversial. But sometimes you'll get people go, fucking hell, I disagree with you there. You're talking bollocks. It's like, that's fine. That's
opinions.
Part of the course of.
I'm surprised we haven't got heat yet.
Honestly, we should have been cancelled fucking after episode 1. Like we've like what was it? It was just one. We did like 20 minutes on just like ejaculate was just like the topic of discussion, and I was like, how did that even come into a Wrexham podcast? Like, it's just like, how are we even allowed to do this? But honestly, it's been good to be able to do it. But to hear you like say that like you've caught flack, that's huge for me, because I'm like, you guys are the pinnacle, so it's great to see like it's like it's like you said, it's great that you handle it the way you do.
Well, you have to, otherwise you can kind of go down a dark hole. You're thinking, fucking hell, was that right or wrong? And I remember when I was doing the Wrexham Twitter account donkeys years ago, again, not quite a wild Vardy lunch, but it was Johnny Hunt, one of our younger players at the time. He cracked somebody at Barnet, I think it was, and he broke this guy's leg.
Shit.
And I was like, it's a hard tackle, but it's a fair tackle. Should have been sent off. And fucking hell, I got that wrong, man. Because I wasn't there. I was watching it live in the pub with my dad, and I was tweeting it. I was like trying to do the right thing. I was like, that's not sending off. And then I should have waited for the replay because fuck me, it was 100%. It was like assault. It was assault. I was like, yeah, and I literally, oh fuck, because it's the official account. All I got is a fucking disgusting post. How dare you, admin? You've had a mare. Sack this, sack that. You can't sack me. I'm not employed, you dickhead.
Yeah, I'm volunteering.
So, honestly, but it's shit. You know, it's shit. And even now, somebody has a go at me directly because I try and keep my sort of more stringent opinions to my personal account because I sometimes lose sight of the fact that people mostly for the most part know it's me doing Fearless, but ultimately it's still four of us that do a pod. So I kind of got to be fairly sort of pragmatic in what I can put and pick your battles wisely. I try and not pick a battle that I know that I can't win. Like, what's the point? But a battle in the sense that you need to have a point. You know, if you're going to come, like some Wimbledon fans just there, fucking Disney Plus, blah blah. All right, you know, what's your issue? I've got no issue with Wimbledon. Why have you got an issue with us? You know, if you want to go down that route, we'll just pepper you with pro MK Dons, and that'll piss you off.
There's some good wind-ups with that. That is for sure. It's so funny that you mentioned that because about the leg break, because I've had a very similar incident, albeit probably obviously not in writing, but at a Melbourne City versus Wellington Phoenix game, I think it's Marcus LaRue for Wellington basically got his leg snapped, and I was in the crowd, like, I want to say 20 feet away, and I just yelled, like, get up, you weak dog, like, you know, just like, you know, and then every Melbourne City fan, because I'm Melbourne City fan, were looking at me just like, did you not see the replay? And I looked at the replay and he did, like, same thing, got absolutely ruined. And I just felt like the immediate just shame of, I can't believe I've said that. The guy's broken his leg. He's not coming back from that. And I've just called him a weak dog. And I'm like, just the flashback that I've had of you going through that, I'm just like, PTSD just kicked in. And I'm just like, you know, when you get secondhand embarrassment where you feel like, oh, I know exactly what you're feeling. Like, it's just so fucking hard.
Yeah, but when you're there and you call out in the heat of the moment as you see it, right? And there's no fucking shame in going, all right, maybe I was a bit hasty and I'll rescind that statement. That's shit. And like it was the same when we played Barry the other week, and that guy was on the deck for ages. Like, fucking nothing wrong with him. He's just trying to. And I thought, well, why would he do that? Because they were in the ascendancy. Why would he do it? Yeah. I said to my dad, "There's probably not wrong with him." And then when they stretched him off, I'm like, he's probably dead.
He's probably dead.
I'll applaud whilst I look at my feet in a sort of guilty manner, going, I hope he's all right. I hope he's all right. Like, tweet something. I hope he's all right. Like, prayers with that man. I'd never go that far. Fucking prayers with him. Yeah, he's getting stretched off for an injury. He's not dead. So
he's not dead.
I
feel that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, you know, I've said some shit, and at the time thinking, all right, yeah, okay, is fucking the bones hanging out the socket of his shoulder. Maybe he's not going to be playing on. You know?
Yeah, so, maybe he's all right.
But that's kind of like, you know, you get that gallows humor at football in an instant. It's the only place I know where you can like shout the most obscene abuse at a player, and then let's say they suffer a really bad injury. Everybody rises along, go, unlucky pal, unlucky, fucking good player. He's a bastard, but a good player. You're thinking, I'm glad he's gone because he's their best player on the pitch.
I saw
it's part of the humor.
I've seen 5-year-olds on their dad's shoulders giving the old. It's just like, what the hell? Like, this 5-year-old just
honestly
cursing.
Can't wait.
Oh,
can't wait until we play Millwall. When we play Millwall, it's going to be like billed as like the El Haterco, like the two most hated clubs in the English Football League, like going toe to toe, and like
for two very different reasons though.
Oh, fucking hell, honestly, terrifying. We played Millwall at home years ago, I remember, and a load of them came off the train wearing like fucking white sort of, you know, masks that people wear to do like the drills and stuff. Yeah. They all came off wearing those like little white masks. Like, fucking hell, that's quite intimidating. And yeah, it was an interesting afternoon. That was, Millwall love it. They revel in that reputation, despite people's attempts to cleanse it or make it what it is. that's part of their fabric, you know, part of the fear factor. But they think
practically have a movie made after it anyway.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, as hard as they are, and as fucking as horrible bunch they are, they're hardly Galatasaray. That's a different story. You go to Turkish teams and they will fucking kill you in an instant for being a fan of the opposing side. So anyway, gone off on a tangent about hooligans. Sorry.
I love it.
I'm sat here like talking about Millwall whilst the fucking lyrics of Elton John are sat in front of me. I'm like, what's going on there?
Did you ever picture yourself in this position, also talking to two Aussies about Wrexham in your wildest dreams?
Probably not at the time, to be honest. I knew it was kind of going to, like, you know, starburst into like various echelons of different fandom, but it's just weird, man. It's weird and it's great. It's the only way you can do it. It can't be this little exclusive club for 4,500, 5,000 diehards and the sort of fence sitters who've been in the past. So it's part of growth, you know, and for the most part, most people coming on board with it, do their due diligence, do their history, read up, know a bit about the game. You still get a few people who are like a little bit not ignorant to some facts, but we got to take a step back. Sometimes people will ask the most fucking stupidest of questions. You go, "Are they being serious?" And then you go, "They probably are being serious." So you got to treat those, some of those. Yeah, you have to, because you know it, and that's not their fault. That's like me asking. It's like me asking about certain things, Aussie rules. You know, you never assume that you know the fucking rules, because I don't. So, you know,
I don't think most Aussies know the rules the way the referees do. Anyway.
Yeah, to be fair, the fucking game's gone to shit. But it's crazy, like, that you say that, because that is a fair point. We're very lucky because we come from football backgrounds. Me, less on the supporting side, more on the coaching side in local leagues here, and playing back in the heyday. And yourself, Rousey, you know, his football knowledge, he was born over in Coventry, so he's got that kind of background in it. So we're lucky. So we try to do the same thing when we do get questions that are, you know, why is this happening? It's like, well, that's actually because of, you know, X, Y, Z. And like you said, you gotta take it on the chin. But the questions the one thing that gets, what is it, grinds my gears is I don't know if you saw it, but and I don't know if it was a wind up or if they were serious. I really hope they weren't serious, but someone was arguing football terms, and then someone just replied, like, you know, well, we've got 5 Emmys. What does your club have? And it's like, no, don't bring the Emmys into this. Please don't bring it into this. They're talking about like Champions League or fucking Premier League titles, and someone's responded, but do you have 5 Emmys? And I'm like, fuck, I hope you're kidding. I really hope you are.
Yeah. That's like asking fucking Aston Villa, how many Welsh Cups have you won? Hey, we're the record Welsh Cup holder. Why the fuck would we be in the Welsh Cup? You know, so, yeah, I mean, I think we're slowly moving away from those kind of sort of proud past glories, but also the kind of like the sort of there's pride in certain failures. Like, I remember when we played Stoke in the FA Cup 2014, I want to say, and we lost, and it was a really good performance. And then they brought the big guns off the bench, and they won like 3-1. But that represented like a big, like, so many people used to say that was my favourite ever away day. Sport Wrexham was like, fuck, that's how bad things were, that your favourite away day was a loss to fucking Stoke. I don't know if you've ever been to Stoke. Don't.
Yeah, no, don't.
I haven't.
I can 100% side with you on that one, Tim. You don't want to go to Stoke.
I don't need to say anymore. Even people in Stoke will tell you, don't fucking come to Stoke.
Now even Aussies are going to say, don't go to Stoke.
Yeah, well, we get the. I've heard the comment many a time, you know, but can he do it on a cold Tuesday night in Stoke? Like, I've heard that. Like,
yeah, the answer will be, why the fuck would you want to do it? It's as simple as that. Like, yeah, sorry, you know, I'm washing my hair. I'm bald, but I can't make it today, Gaffer. I'm not fucking going to Stoke on a Tuesday night or any night. Matter of fact, it's cold in peak summer in Stoke. Honestly, don't get me wrong. Yeah, to rescind proud kind of, you know, pottery history and all that. But yeah, I say that I can't wait to play Port Vale next year, because that's not very far at all. And we've had some very, very tasty meetings with them in years gone by. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Well, after they put it out of full strength squad to our second string side. Yeah.
That competition did not compute to me. It was weird. And,
It was a very weird con.
That was. Well,
Kind of blacked
Tim,
it out.
mate, just a quick plug for yourself for Fearless. How can people follow you on socials and get in touch or listen to your podcast?
Yeah, I mean, we need to sort out a new email because our current and old email is being held to ransom by a sort of former member of our fanzine team who, for some bizarre reason, decided to fucking take a dim view of us and is now being slightly weird. But there we are. But yeah,
Drama.
just contacting the usual ways. We're sort of Fearless ID Zine on Twitter and Instagram and all that jazz, and Fearless and Devotion on YouTube and Facebook to a certain extent. We are on TikTok, but I very rarely really use it because A, I haven't got the time, and B, I'm just not down with the kids anymore. So maybe on board. Maybe I'll get somebody on board to do something with that. But yeah, kind of Twitter / X is where I'm most active and where we put a lot of the stuff. Instagram to another point, and obviously the YouTube stuff seems to be going quite well now as well. And you can find us wherever you stream your audio. Really, we're across pretty much most, if not all, of the platforms where you can hear us whinge or do songs about our massive on loan goalkeeper, or sometimes in my head I want to do a Wrexham angriest 11 because I've already got Ryan Valentine and Steve Evans in there. Wow, we've had some players, I'm telling you. It's almost it's like you want to embrace and acknowledge your past, but this current team are almost making me feel, yeah, that part didn't happen. We can just erase that.
Never talk about them again.
Yeah, it's like I'm a firm believer that most teams will have their time in the sun, apart from Chester, because they're just shit and they're always being lucky. It's hilarious.
Chester aren't in the sun anyway, so.
Somebody messaged, like tweeted this. You'll never have a moment like this. What? Yeah. Oh yeah, you scored a winner in the last minute against us. So fucking what? We beat you 2-0 in the FA Cup on the TV, and it was great, and that was far more fun. So, yeah, but they're just like a minor consequence now, to be honest. And I can't wait. All right, well,
Tim, I got to say thank you very much for coming on our podcast today.
Thanks for having me.
And
thank you, mate.
Showing
really appreciate it.
Always support you and what you guys do. We love it. So just keep it up, and we'll definitely do it again sometime. And I look forward to hearing that song.
He's holding you to it. He's holding you to it.
I'm like, fucking hell. It's a good job Elton is still with us. Otherwise, he'd be turning in his grave, whatever I'm about to come up with. I'll tell you now.
I don't want to add him, by the way. Yeah, we're going to add him. Like, I don't know if he's on socials or whatever, but whoever his PR person is, I'm sure we can.
Yeah, I won't be able to function at work today now because all I'm going to be doing is thinking, oh fuck! Like on the way there, I'm just going to be listening to that song on repeat to try and work it out. So yeah, thanks for nothing.
There we go.
Thanks for nothing.
All right, thanks, Tim, and we'll look forward to listening to your latest episode, guys. If you want to drop them a like, share, and follow their stuff, there you can find them on Spotify and all that, as you've heard, and on YouTube as well. But be sure to go give them some love and say that Two Beards sent you. But Tim, mate, thank you very much, and we'll definitely see you again.
Cheers, boys. All the best. Thank you.
Well, that's it for another week. That's Tim from Fearless in Devotion. I was so stoked to have him on the pod. That was amazing.
Me too.
Guys, we're gonna kind of cut this short because that was a long episode, but it was well and truly worth it. 1,000 subscribers special. Thank you so much for subscribing to us, listening to us, wherever you listen to us. Following us, it really does mean the world. And comment down below if you got anything you want to reach out if you want to say anything to us, let us know and we'll respond to you for sure. Just be respectful about it. You don't want to get called out by me.
Challenge accepted. And then there's just me in the comment section of our own pod. No, but honestly, just to finalize that, we fucking love you guys. It's incredible what you guys do to support us in terms of, sending us lovely messages to when I was on a flight, I was in Japan and an earthquake and Rousey, let everyone know that he hadn't heard from me and everyone was sending me lovely messages. That didn't go unnoticed as well. So if I haven't responded to you, I do apologize, but thank you. That the care from a podcast of two Aussies that we get is phenomenal. And the care from Tim as well, just having him on the pod means so much to both of us. And it just shows the leaps and bounds that we've gone from simply having you support us. So if we didn't have you, we would have nothing.
Exactly. So guys, like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Join, become a fuckhead. Links down below. We will see you guys for this week and come back next week after the Newport game to review all that sort of goodness, which we're looking forward to. Predictions on the Newport game real quick.
2-0 Wrexham.
2-0 Wrexham. I'm going to go 3-1.
Nice. Love it.
Let's go with that. All right, guys. We love you. We'll see you next week on Two Beards. See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Nothing. Get the lighters out. This is going to get lots of views on YouTube, this. Okay. Whoa. Deep breaths, Edwards. Deep breaths. Come on. There we go. Come on. Channel your inner Elton. Here we go. Okonkwo. Main man in goal. Something's looking better, baby, when you're so tall. And it's no sacrifice, just the way we feel. Our hearts hoping for a 5-year deal. But it's no sacrifice. No sacrifice. It's no sacrifice to entice Okonkwo.